Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Thursday, January the 11th, the year 2018. Yesterday I put out the hardcore price action video, and I guess Facebook and YouTube didn't like the words hardcore, so I'm going to have to shorten it to H period, C period, but it's still going to be hardcore price action. So let's get into the video. But before, as always, money and risk management. And just remember, these videos are for educational purposes only. You know, check with your financial advisor and all the rest of the, disclaimer stuff that you guys have seen and heard, million times or whatever. At least a few dozen times, right? Okay, we had price action on the euro, as you can see. Yesterday, I believe it was down here somewhere on the weekly. Look where it is now. I remember we had price action right around the 120,000 number. But as you can see, that's changed. And also, we had a pair up here. I can't remember which one it was, but hadn't filled the gap. Well, as you can see, the weekly gaps have been filled. So for you traders that can't trade every day, you're not a scalper, you've got a job or something that you just can't sit in front of the screen tick by tick, that might be a trade you might want to consider. Take a look on Tuesday to see if there's any gaps that haven't filled, or you could just load up your orders on when the market opens first thing in the week, whether it's Sunday, Monday, depending on which hemisphere you live in. And you can just play the trade. Just remember, use that money management when you're position sizing. Okay, and look at the euro. Look what the euro's just done over the past couple of hours. We're on the H1 chart here. And there's the daily open, 78 pips above. And if you're using the oh, that's right, I keep forgetting. Here's the indicators. If you're using the TRO HL5, you can see these numbers here. That's the distance close minus whatever level. So you can see that number matches that number. And you can see the high down matches that number. So once again, you don't have to use the dashboard. Dashboard just gives you the view of the entire market. But you can trade using just that TRO HL5 indicator that you can download from where I post my indicators, and won't cost you anything. Now, just one other observation on the hardcore price action. If we go back over to the weekly, and let's look at a pair I am stalking. It's not my usual trade, but I am stalking it. You see here the New Zealand dollar. It's making a weekly high. I'm thinking it could come back. You can see sometimes there's a little, sometimes on these green candles there's a lot. So that's something, basically be doing a rat reversal trade off of the weekly high versus which will also be the daily high. If you think about it, how can it make a weekly high unless it's making a daily high? So when the daily high equals the weekly high, that's something to think about, something to observe. Not to mention if it's also the monthly high. So straight through. Oh, let's put the let's go back and put everything back to the euro. But I'm just giving you a heads up on that. So here we got the euro. So far the ranges, oh, that's H1 range. We flipped the oh yeah, once again the indicators, so you know which ones I'm using. Oh, we've got some highlighted ranges over 100 pips, the euro being one of them. So that was a nice move. And buy zone, once again, it paid off there, should have paid off there, and you hit the jackpot right there. And once again, the rat zone. And see, somebody asked me about, not getting so chopped up in the rat zone. I think I explained it before, but you see here, if you trade with the candle color H1, so right here you can see price came down, didn't make a low. This is on H1, and H1 turned green, broke that high. You can use the turn trade right there, or you could just go with the candle color, or right there about 1940 you could take it with that horizontal line trade, and you see there were pips to be made. And once again, right here it came down, and we came back and covered the entire range. You can still pop in the rat zone, and the rest was history. And the pivot traders, as you can see, the open was here, it hit the pivot, came back down, and shot right through the pivot. And just the price action right here, once again trading at the line with the green candle color, or playing the higher high, higher lows right here. That's not quite a turn trade. The turn trade would have been here. Take a little heat, but as you can see, profit. And just using yesterday's 5 lines, once again, came down, stopped right here at the previous day's open, shot through the previous day's close, and continued forward. So didn't matter, even if you woke up this hour right here, there's the breakout of yesterday's high, you'd be up 9 pips, and you had an opportunity to, let's see, put the crosshairs on, drag this here. You had a chance to make about 16 pips. Oh yeah, thanks Photies for that tip on the crosshairs. And we're looking at the wick zones. Once again, price does not like staying in the wick zone, in the zone, out of the zone, in the zone, out of the zone, in the zone, out of the zone. I could probably just pre-tape this segment, because this is what happens pretty much every day. And here we have a holo setup, highest open, lowest open, for those of you who don't know. And once again, I forgot to do something. There you go, real simple. During 2014 and let's see here, 2016, I tried to build like everything you need in the one indicator. Oh yeah, and somebody even asked me about position size. See, when the trade is on, this will tell you your position size depending on your account size and all that. This is just a default setup. But the important thing is not what's over here. The important thing is price doesn't like staying in the wick zone or the holo zone. It comes out, you see? It comes out. Comes, so right here, out. So right here, 120.03, but probably the hour's going to end soon. So we're probably going to get a new holo for the day, and then we can see price. See if price reverses. And your squigglies, I know you guys don't like to see it, but I think I need to do another squiggly video. I think I've done what MACD and MA and RSI. Probably should do stochastics or CCI or something else just to keep that series going, because there are people who like to use squigglies. So let's help our fellow traders out. If you saw somebody rubbing 2 sticks together and you had a match, I think you give them a match, right? Or you give them a Bic lighter. It's only about $1 or so. You let them know there's something a little bit better than what they're doing. Okay, hardcore price action. After putting up the tick chart and doing a video on it, talking to you guys, I had an idea. One was this, like, I should put seconds up here. Why didn't I put seconds? So now we've got the seconds. But as you can see, the chart's bigger, and this is here, And that is because I wrote a new indicator and combined everything. So what does this indicator do? These dotted lines, well, that's the ask, and the other one's the bid. Now, the red line, that's the high since I started this indicator. This line here is the open every minute. We put the open up. This is the midpoint between the high and the low. The blue line is the low, tick minimum. So it's not a daily high unless it or anything like that, unless it just happens to be the daily high. It's from when you turn on the indicator. Now you notice there's no buttons. There's a reason for that. If you change anything, it's going to start over, because you see we don't have the tick data out there on MT4 like they do for the 1 minute chart. So it doesn't load up a tick database. So this is live, this is streaming, and once you cut that stream, it's going to have to start all over. So I can show you here. Let's see. If I go here, and let's take a look at that New Zealand dollar that I'm stalking. So you see here, all the charts changed, and let me just show you how that works. In the dashboard, change all charts is set to true. If you set that to false, then it'll only change the chart you're looking at. Otherwise, it'll change them all. And so back here to the tick, and you can see how it's starting over. I just made the bid and the ask the same color because that's just how I want it. But of course, in the indicators, and I might give you a little more power. Here's all the different colors. And I also put these price boxes because in the original I didn't have them. So I thought, hey, I could do that. Now, you notice there's no bars or anything. This is a lower indicator, once again. So somewhere, where is it? Right there. See, if I do that, it scrunches it. So I've got this the whole entire way. Now I guess maybe I could have probably put this in the regular window, and who knows, maybe I'll change it before I release it and do that. Actually, I did release it, but I can always release an updated version along with the template. So you can see here it tells you the max tick, the min tick, that since we've been watching. So how does this help? Well, it only really what price is doing only matters in the moment. So you can use this to determine, is price going up or going down since you've been watching. Kind of like the Einstein indicator I wrote. It's just relative to when you start. So you can see here the bid is staying below this midpoint. Got close, but right here it came through, but it's staying. Okay, now it just went above. What does that indicate? So had you gone in at 25, you had an opportunity to take 1 pip. Now, there you go. There's your opportunity. You see, it just made a new high from one we've been watching. So if you're reading the tape here, as opposed to just looking at this, you can see. And the other thing I did was, if the price didn't change, I used gray. So, but you know, once again, using this shows you price is going up and down. It might look like it's going sideways to those people that believe that nonsense, but it's not. So fellow traders, just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. TheRumpledOne signing off to go drain the banks. Hardcore price action.